Well, look who's back. It's me. Yes, after a very long time I'm trying to get back on this tutorial videos, and if I jump off this little platform here, you will see later on that it's actually a castle on a tree. So it's like a tree house, but not like a tree house, it's like a tree castle. Have you ever seen something like this? I don't think so. So you can see like two models of those. The one on the left is actually better in my opinion, but it takes more time to build. So if you really want to get a tutorial on this one with a little bit of tweaking to it on the left side, ask me and maybe I will consider making a tutorial like this. But right here we'll start building like a V shape and then one gap in between those for the door later on. And one thing I want to tell you beforehand is I'm sorry if it's going really fast, because it's really hard to build a trunk and keep the video under the 20 minutes, and this video will probably be more than 20 minutes. So if it's going too fast, just slow down the video like with a time, and you might follow the video like with no problem. And I'm sorry if I remove some logs sometimes, because I do make some mistakes sometimes. So right here, as you can see, I just replace those two because yeah, this should be here. So once again, I'm sorry if it's going fast, but try to keep track by pausing the video or rewinding it or just making it slower. But right here, just follow step by step what you need to do. So as you can see, we're starting like building the lower part, which is really thick. I want to build it like this to make it look like it's supported, like it's not a one trunk with the same size everywhere, and to make to give an impression of a little bit more depth. I'm trying to bend the tree trunk a little bit more to the right, as you can see right here, and after that it will be really easy. We'll just like build it straight up and then try to not make it equal everywhere, to give a little bit of depth. So right here, as you can see, I'm building it straight up. Kinda easy. It's like, you know, a little square in the middle. So it's easy to follow, and just to make it bend over a little bit more, we'll build this square shape like a little more to the right. I spoke Dutch right there. And then once again, just like build it up a little bit by 4, I think. Yes, it's 4. And you'll see later that the shape is a little bit off because it's going straight up, but we'll fix that later on. Alright, so right here I'm messing around a little bit, so it's taking long to figure out what I want to do, because at this point you don't need to really follow step by step what I do. What I just really wanted to do is to give it more shape by bending it over a little bit more to the left side again. And right here you can actually adjust the shape of the tree by putting down some random logs. To not make it look like it's going straight down and then stopping, you know. So right here, as you can see, I'm extending the log a little bit more, like this. And by doing this, it's not a square anymore, as you can see, so it looks a little bit more attractive to the eye. And of course you can implement this technique to a lot of trees or custom trees you build. It depends on on how big you make it, how big it is, and how rounder, how better it looks like, because this is like a really tiny trunk. So it's not like a big tree to build a castle on. That's why the castle will be mini, because otherwise it will look a little bit out of proportion, and I don't want that. And I try to keep it simple, so it's like a really simple design for the castle, but I don't think it's about the castle, like just behind as you can see. It's about the overall, so like a tree with a castle around it looks amazing on itself, so it doesn't need to look really attractive, the castle itself, to make the build attractive overall. That's what I'm trying to say, to try out, you know. Alright, so for now we'll build the platform, so count 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, and then we'll try to build 5 on the sides as well, so just like that. And it will be on every side, but like to make it easier for you, I will show you step by step. So you put 2 here, then you just put 1 corner, and then 2 once again this side. So going back, so that's 2. And then we'll just build the 5 once again, the row 5. Then you just actually repeat the same process all around the tree. So what you did here on this corner, you did on the other corner as well, and then we'll actually build like a little shape. And as you can see, I don't have a lot of luck with rain most of the time. I think there is a comment for it, so I should implement it. But oh well. So just like that, and then 5 once again. Alright, and then you just have to close the last gap by doing the same thing once again, and it should rejoin on this right corner right here. And all you have to do now is fill in the whole thing so that it's actually a platform. And now we actually want the platform to be supported, right? Because otherwise it looks a little bit off that the platform is really heavy, or the castle on top of it. So because it's a castle, it's made of stone, I decided to put 2 supported sides on every side of the circle, so that it looks really supported. And in my opinion, it looks really good. Like I use slabs right here to not make like a straight stair going to the trunk, but actually, you know, this shape looks more attractive in my opinion. And all you have to do is actually on every side, if your trunk is a little bit different, you have to rejoin the slabs until it rejoins the trunk, and then just put 1 more in beneath it, just like that. Alright, looks really good. As you can see, we have the platform finished, and all you have to do is put some fence all around it to prevent you from falling in, because that would be a bummer. You would die from this height, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it's pretty high up. But oh well, so remove this corner and then just follow this pattern. So 3 gaps in between, and then those 3 once again. So those will be the towers, the little towers of this castle. All you have to do is just put 1 cobblestone in between those bricks. And now just follow along the pattern I use for those towers. Because it's really tiny, I tried to give it shape. But it's really hard because it's only 3 by 3. But it is possible, so just follow that and you'll be able to build some really fancy towers. And then we need those stairs to be upside down. So it's always a mess trying to do that. So you have to put down some blocks first and then just try to work that out, and you'll get like a little shape like that. Great. And then just put some cobblestone stairs right here to create some little windows, like really tiny windows where you can shoot from it or look through it. Alright, so now to give it a little bit of not depth, but a little bit of a fancy design. We put down some chiseled bricks right here. We put down some buttons on it afterwards, so that we give it a little bit of different color to the building actually. And from this point it's actually really easy. So just do that. And follow the same directions for the stairs everywhere. So that's a thing you will need to do. So you have to face this way for the whole building. And alright, and now because it's like a new update, I'm using the snapshot. So if it's not yet in your Minecraft, you can use some brick slabs instead of stone slabs. But I think it's a really good thing for it. Like a really good add-on. Sometimes I lose my words. So all you have to do now is just actually repeat the same process for those towers on those sides. So it's a 3 gap in between and you do exactly the same. So you will get those 3 towers. And now we'll add some entrances. So the entrances are a little bit different from the walls that we'll put down or place on the sides right there. So just follow those steps along. Alright, and that is the front of the building. Looks like a mouth or a creeper head or something like that, but I think it looks fancy for this castle. It's like a little jungle thing, so you could even build this castle on a jungle tree if you don't want to mess around building the trunk up. So this is actually the same pattern on this door, so it's not hard. There you go. Look, a little like creeper head it looks like. And then upside down like that, and that's it. And then for the sides it's actually even easier. You build 1 row of cobblestone blocks. And then just those facing this way so that we close the gap. And you will be able to look like in those little towers through it. So as you can see, the shape is a little bit different, and that's what I like about buildings, is that you don't use the same technique over and over again, so that it looks a little bit different from some sides. So this will be a little window as well, so don't worry about the light level in this building, I guess. Oh well, actually there will be like leaves hanging over it, so it will be hard to get some light, natural light through those windows actually. Alright, so now for the door, you just put down some slabs and a little door right here. And as you can see, there's like a gap here to be able to build a ladder going all the way up. So just put it down right here and make it so that it's easy to go up. I don't know if the trunk is precisely the same as mine, but there will be enough space if you followed like the little square shape in the middle. So it's actually a pretty quick way to go up. And all you have to do is actually close the little gap right here. Put down a trapdoor to prevent anything for entering this building. Actually, I don't think creepers or anything can climb up this building anyway, so you should be safe. And then 2 doors to actually close this building. So you have your little castle right here, and you could leave it like this if wanted to, because you know you don't need like a real tree for this. Like, I really like this platform anyways without a tree, but if you really want to make it a tree, just keep on following this tutorial, I guess. I chose for the dark oak wooden stairs because I thought that the spruce ones on the right building that I built earlier were look too much like the trunk, that they were not really different from the trunk of the tree itself. So it looked like that the roof, yeah, it was not really popping out, and that's what I really wanted for this building, to see actually that it's a roof, you know, a roof from this castle, and otherwise you would only actually see the bricks and the stony part. And I think that the roof of this building adds a lot of detail to it. So it's kind of unique shape for this castle, but I really like it like that. So actually all you have to do now is repeat the same process on all the sides. So put the slabs right there and then remove them and replace it with some fancy stairs and stuff like that. Alrighty, it should look like this. So you have your little castle already done, and now what we need to do is actually build the trunk. So where your trapdoor was, just build some logs all around it and try to cover up this window. Don't cover up like the entries to the doors or the towers, because you will need to actually be able to walk over there, right? And to look through it and look at the beautiful surroundings, and yeah, well, you know what I mean. So it's really random right here. I don't know how to really explain, because I did it like randomly. I put down like some logs everywhere, and I tried to keep it really small. As you can see, I'm now trying to find the way where it goes. So it bends a little bit to the right, which I really like. And now I try to build around those directions and to build the trunk a little bit bigger, you know, because the branches need to be small, and I don't want this trunk to be really big. So you can just like mess around with the directions it's going and stuff like that. So I really like this design. It looks okay, it looks alright in my opinion. And now all you have to do is build some branches. So just go to one side and try to build like this. And it's really hard, because if you do it on survival, you will have big time it will be really hard to build those branches, because you cannot fly, and if you even can, like with the how do you call that, like those firework things, it's really hard to build it anyway. So but with the new update, there's those scaffolding things, and if you actually build them beneath it, you'll be able to build it really easily. And now what I'm doing is actually spamming leaves everywhere around those branches. So it's really hard to explain it block by block right here, but it's not that hard to do. All you have to do is just spam the leaves all around this tree, and then close the gaps that will be in between those branches. You could even do that without a branch actually, but I really like those branches to give me an impression where it's going, you know. So the first step, I'll try to explain the best I can, is to actually build around the branches and beneath the branch, so that it's not that you cannot see the branch anymore. So for this type of tree, that's what I'm trying to do. So what you can see right is that I'm actually closing the gaps a little bit, and try to build it like 2 down or 3 down, but not more than that, because otherwise the tree will be way too big in my opinion. I really want that, like how do you call that, like that small height, but like a really big horizon for the tree. Sometimes I'm trying to find the words back, because I haven't spoken English for a really long time. But yeah, just like that. And as you can see, like above the tree, it's really flat, it's flattened. And after that I'll try to actually build the leaves a little bit more high and up to give a little bit more shape to this tree. So right here, as you can see, I'm trying to build it a little bit more high up, because if you look at this tree from a distance, you actually see that it's flat on the top and it's not attractive to the eye. So you need to actually play around with the shape and try to make it look as natural as possible. And you can see that I'm not actually building all the way to the edge, because otherwise it will look square, and that's what you don't want. You want the tree to look a little bit round and natural, and that's how you do it. As you can see, it's starting to look a little bit like a really nice tree. So I'm just like messing around with the shape of the trunk still. It doesn't really matter how it looks like, as long as it's not really round or straight, you know. Putting those flags right here gives a little bit of life to this building, in my opinion. That's what I really like. And there's still room to build an actual flag on top of this castle. And that's something I really like about this building, is that there is actually a flag for the castle. So it looks like someone is ruling this little castle. And yeah, I really like this little detail. And as said before, put down some buttons. I used some dragon buttons, I think, for this one, or spruce buttons. It's for the new update. But if you don't have any of those, just use some oak buttons. And then there's like a little add-on for this update as well. It's like the lanterns. As soon as you get the lanterns, you should put them like this, because it gives less light, which makes it look like it's more shady in the night. So play around with the fences going down, so don't go more than 5 fences down. So play around between the 2 and the 5 fences to give it a little bit of depth to this building once again. If you don't have any lanterns, which I will put down right here, put down some glowstone. It's like the old technique that everyone used for those trees before. Yeah, it adds a little bit of light to this building and looks really fancy in the night. You can even put those lanterns down on the building itself. And as you can see, I'm putting like 3 more up on this whole tree so that it looks better shaped overall. So that's it, guys. If you really like this building, don't forget to leave that thumbs up and that like. And if you're new, of course, subscribe. And of course, there will be more buildings coming on, because I really miss those, and I'm trying to get a little bit of free time to actually give you some tutorials, guys, because I've been getting a lot of requests to get back to those buildings once again. So that's what I'm doing right here. And leave suggestions if you have them, because, you know, more suggestions gives me more creativity and ideas for new builds. So without further ado, until the next time, goodbye, and thank you for coming by. It's your boy Louis the Bowie.